This fucking prediction video is like the whole career. Start with a very bad fights and then gonna get better, my brother. And get way better on the end, my brother. Put this on the fucking video, Iago the editor. First, click the like button. If you don't like the video, after that, you can dislike the video. But first, click the like button, share, and help us to get the algorithm going, my brother. We back on the prediction video. A lot of week without fighting. I was really busy. Now we are getting back to the YouTube. I have fight news soon, my brother. Who do you think I will fight next? Let me know on the comments. But today, UFC 302. Let's go to the first fight. André Lima versus Mitch Raposo. You have to remember, André Lima was the guy that got beat on his first UFC fight. And because of that, I was not paying really attention on the fight. And I thought, okay, he just won because the other guy beat him. But he is a very good fighter. Even though it was a tough fight going back and forth, he's solid on the striking, solid on the takedowns, and very good jiu-jitsu. The fight was going very good until the moment that the guy beat him. But I think he's a pretty solid opponent. He's powerful for the 125 division, solid striker, good elbows. He's a pretty decent fighter, and I think UFC gonna try to hype him because everything that happens, okay? And he's fighting Mitch Raposo, that is a solid striker, good takedown defense, but not so good in jiu-jitsu, and that's why I think André Lima will beat Mitch Raposo. And then we have Jocelyn Edwards versus Ailin Perez. Jocelyn Edwards, very tall. She likes to put the girls on the cage. She likes to make them tired, but I don't think her strike is that great. Her takedowns are not that great, and she doesn't have a lot of jiu-jitsu. Ailin Perez, on the other hand, she's better at striking. She's better at takedowns, and both girls fought the same opponent, Lucy Podilova or something like that. I don't remember the exact name right now, but Ailin Perez looked way better than Jocelyn Edwards on that match against the same opponent. Like, good takedowns, good head movements, good punches and kicks. So that's why I think Ailin Perez will beat Jocelyn Edwards. But because Jocelyn Edwards is tall, she could put her on the cage and make the boring game and win a fight in a decision, okay? Very tough fight to predict. I'm going to Ailin Perez. Next fight, Mickey Gall versus Bassil Hafez. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to trash Mickey Gall too much, but he was giving several easy fights on the beginning of his career. I don't think he's a great fighter, and you have to remember, he fought Michael Jackson, the reporter that didn't have any fights in UFC, and he beat him. And then he fought CM Punk, that was a wrestler in WWE. And then he fought Sage Northcutt, that was in a lot of hype. UFC was trying to push him so much. And then Mickey Gall beat him. But every time that he fought a tough opponent, he lost. And you guys have to remember that time when Mike Perry beat him without corners, without training, just with his girlfriend on the corner giving him water. There was a memorable moment of the UFC. Everybody was talking about that at the time. And again, I think he has a solid jiu-jitsu. I think he's not a great striker. Bassil Hafez, on the other hand, doesn't have the greatest record, but he took a fight on short notice against JDM, and he did great against JDM. JDM right now is one of the best of the division. He just beat Gilbert Burns. He is good at striking, but he has solid takedowns and a good ground and pound. In my opinion, he beat JDM, was a split decision to JDM. That's why I think Bassil Hafez will beat Mickey Gall. I have no doubt, my brother. That fight, Bassil Hafez will beat Mickey Gall. Let's go to the next one. Next fight, Niko Price versus Alex Morono. Even though I think Niko Price is not that great and Alex Morono, it's okay. I think it's going to be a great fight just because stylistically, these two fighters go to war every time. But we have to remember, of his last 5 fights, he only beat one guy. So he lost 4 and he beat Alex Oliveira, a guy that is not UFC anymore. So he's not going to the best phase of his career. In his last fight, he lost to Robbie Lawler. Of his last 7 fights, Robbie Lawler lost 5. He was almost retired. Actually, that fight, after the Niko Price fight, he retired and he knocked him out on the first round, on the first seconds. So that's why I will pick Alex Morono. And don't get me any wrong, Alex Morono is solid on the ground, very good jiu-jitsu, very tough opponent. His striking is little not that good. You know, his movement, his striking is not great, but he only lost to Ponzinibbio and to Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley is very good right now, like he's on a hype right now, and Santiago Ponzinibbio was a short notice and he was winning the fight until the 3rd round. So Alex Morono is very good and I think he can and he will beat Niko Price. Next fight, Phil Ho versus Jake Matthews. You have to remember, Phil Ho is not a grappler, but at the same time, he fought the best grapplers in the world. He fought Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan. On his topology, say he never won a grappling match. How crazy is that? He lost his 5 matches, but still he competed against 2 of the best grapplers. He lost to Neil Magny, and I don't know why he was trying to grapple against Neil Magny. He was trying to put him in the cage. It was a split decision, and I'll be honest, I don't know much about Jake Matthews, and I don't care about the fight, but I'm picking Philip Ho to win. I think he's the best striker, and spending that amount of time fighting grappling, he must be getting better on the grappling. So I have Phil Ho winning. Let's go to the next one. Grant Dawson versus Joey Solecki. That's a fight that I want to watch. Grant Dawson is one of my training partners in ATT. He lost his last fight to Bobby Green, but on that fight, I'm not seeing him losing. I think he's the lock of the card, especially because Joey Solecki is a BJJ guy. He's a grappler. I don't think he's a better wrestler than Grant Dawson. I think he's a jiu-jitsu guy that will try takedowns, will fail on the takedowns, will pull guard, or even if he does take Grant Dawson down, he will not be able to control him on the ground because Grant Dawson is one of the best grapplers in the UFC. Maybe you cannot believe in me, but I'm telling you, he's one of the best grapplers on the division. I saw him training against Armand Tsarukyan. I saw him training against Mateus Gunro. I trained with him myself. So he's very hard to control, very good grappler. He needs to work on his defense, especially on the striking. But I think for that fight, he doesn't need to worry too much about the striking because Joey Solecki is not a great striker. He's a solid fighter, but mostly a grappler. And as a grappler, I think Grant Dawson is way better than him. So that's why I see Grant Dawson winning the fight by decision. And I think it's going to be a fun exchanging of grappling, okay? Great day, my friend. This is one of the best fights on the striking so far. We have to remember Cesar Almeida beat Poatan on a kickboxing match. And Roman Kopylov is one of the best strikers. Before he lost to Fluffy on his last fight, he dismantled the guy. Kicking the body, punching the body was a destruction. Roman Kopylov is very good. Cesar Almeida is very good. It's going to be a war, a stand-up war, a kickboxing match. And I have Cesar Almeida. And it's awesome to see that UFC is putting him on a 302 card. I think if he keeps winning, they're going to build up like they did with Pereira and Adesanya. And they're going to do Almeida and Pereira eventually. Of course, he needs a lot of time still. He's not that young. I think he's 33 or something for his first fight in UFC. And we need to see his ground game. But as a kickboxer, even Pereira say that was his biggest rivalry on kickboxing. So that's going to be a fun match. The Russian Chase Hooper and the rival of Alex Pereira. Who you think is going to win, my brother? Great fight. Now we have Randy Brown versus Eliseu Zelensky, the Brazilian-Ukrainian boss. That's going to be a very tough fight for him because Randy Brown is very tall, very long, very lanky, gonna fight to the outside. I never saw Zelensky trying takedowns. I think he should try takedowns on that fight, even though he is a good striker. He's not that young. I think he's 37, so he's not on his prime anymore. Randy Brown, being tall as he is, I think he will control the fight in the outside, you know, with the jabs, with the front kicks, eventually gonna win the fight by decision. Next fight of the card, Jailton Almeida versus Alexander Romanov. I see a lot of people talking shit about Jailton Almeida and Romanov, me included. Jokes aside, I think it's going to be a very fun fight. Why, Moicano? Because they both are two grapplers, and Romanov gets tired in all fights. That's true. He got very tired against Tybura. I don't think he will be able to control or dominate Jailton Almeida. I have Jailton Almeida winning the fight, and I hope he work on his ground and pound and his submission game. And I think it's a very good fight for Almeida. I think if he beats, and I think he will beat Romanov, he will get back on the hype. He will get back on good fights on the heavyweight. I still see future to Jailton Almeida. He lost to Curtis Blaydes, but remember, on the first round, he was dominating a very good wrestler. Blaydes is a very good wrestler, and Jailton Almeida was just taking him down all the time. So I think he will control Romanov and eventually get even a TKO or a submission. Let's go to the next one. Kevin Holland and Michał Oleksiejczuk, or I don't know how to fuck say the name. Mateusz, the Polish Michał. He's a tough fighter. He used to compete at 205, so he will be bigger and heavier than Kevin Holland. I don't know why Kevin Holland is going to the 185 again. He was doing good in 170. You have to remember, he fought very good fighters in both divisions. He fought Derek Brunson, Marvin Vettori, way bigger than him, and MVP, Wonderboy, Khamzat Chimaev. So he has a very good record, and I think he's better than Michał. I think Kevin Holland is a better striker. Michał doesn't try takedowns that often, but if he sees the opportunity, like if the guy sleeps and fall, he has a good ground and pound, heavy hands on the ground and pound, and I think Michał Oleksiejczuk is a good underdog because of that, you know? I hope Kevin Holland wins. That's going to be a tough fight to predict. I think it could go both ways, but as an underdog, throw some fucking money. That's not financial advice, my brother, but throw some fucking money on Oleksiejczuk, my brother. I think he could win, even though I think Kevin Holland is the better fighter. And now we have, my brother, the fight that everybody is waiting for. The main event of the people, my brother. Sean Strickland versus Paulo O. Costa. I think people are very excited to this matchup. I don't know how the fuck Paulo Costa got this fight. Sean Strickland only lost one in his last 4 fights, and it was against the champ in a split decision. And why he's facing Paulo Costa that had lost multiple times and is coming off a loss too, I don't know. He's number 7, Sean Strickland number 1, but in reality is Paulo Costa is very popular on Twitter, the meme king. Everybody wants to see him fight, and I think that's a fun matchup. We saw Sean Strickland saying that he didn't want to fight Paulo for the money. I think UFC offered him a little bit more money. You guys know how it works, but here today I'm talking about styling of fighting, and I think even though Paulo Costa has more punching power and he's aggressive, I think especially in a 5-round fight, Sean Strickland will walk forward, absorb the striking, keep putting pressure, and eventually Paulo Costa is going to get tired. I don't see Paulo Costa shooting for takedowns. I see Paulo Costa trying to outstrike Sean Strickland, but with his pace, with his cardio, and if he keep going like he did against Adesanya, I see Sean Strickland winning by decision. I know it's a common take, everybody will say that, but it is what it is. It's pressure against power. So Sean Strickland will try to outbox him. Paulo will try to knock him out, but eventually with 5 rounds, if Paulo Costa don't knock him out on the first or in the second, it's going to be a long ass night for him. That being said, I hope Paulo Costa win, but I'm not mad if Sean Strickland win too, okay? Let's go to the next one. And now we have the main event of the evening, UFC 302, Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier. Could be this the redemption fight Could be this the redemption fight of UFC? Could be this time when Dustin Poirier become the undisputed lightweight champ? I only hope so, my brother. I hope so. I believe if there is a fighter that deserves that title, is Dustin Poirier. Ups and downs, a star, always was a star in UFC, but he was never the undisputed champion. Imagine if he can knock Islam Makhachev, Khabib Nurmagomedov pupil, and get the gold in the UFC. I think that would be a great storytelling through the generation, my brother. That's the fight that we have to pray to the MMA gods to make this happen. Imagine Dustin Poirier as a champion beating Islam Makhachev. But in reality, that's a very tough matchup for Dustin Poirier. He struggled a lot with wrestlers, and especially Islam Makhachev. He is a southpaw. He evolved on the striking, you know. I don't think it's smart for Islam Makhachev try to... he was saying that he will knock Dustin out and this and that, but in reality, Dustin is so much better than him on the striking, but Islam Makhachev is so much better than him on the grappling. We're going to have to wait and see. I can only hope Dustin Poirier win, not because he's my teammate. I have been training with him on the last couple years, you know. I used to train with him a lot when I was 45, but before a training partner, I am a fan of Dustin Poirier because of his career, because what he did and what he accomplished in UFC. I just hope to see he winning that fight. That was the prediction video for today, motherfucker. I told you, if you waited and you didn't like the video, dislike the shit out of this video. If you like the video, help me get the algorithm great again, my brother. Soon fight news. Thank you so much. See you next time, Degenerate Gambler. Os. And always remember, watch me on the Show Me the Money podcast. A lot of stuff going on, working a lot. See you soon, motherfucker.